Previously, in episode 1, a gate outbreak began all over the world, and demons and monsters began invading the earth, but at the same time humans started to awaken powers to fight those monsters. And those people were named hunters. Then after 3 years, gates were randomly opened throughout the world, and Jean was the weakest hunter in history. But he worked as a hunter to earn money for his mother's treatment and his sister's education, but one day, during a dungeon raid, his party discovered a secret passage that led them to a secret room, where the team leader reads out an ancient script that awakened the boss of the secret room. Jinwoo warned everyone to get out of its way, and the statue killed 2 of his party members. All of the other party members were in panic, so Chiyul asked all of them to stay put or the statue would attack again, and Juhi was scared to her soul. Their song Chiyul thanked Jinwoo for warning others, but he had lost one of his arm, so Jinwoo stops the bleeding with first aid. Chiyul was a bit experienced and had joined a few B rank raids before, so he knew the enemy in front of them could be at least an A rank, or worse, it could even be at S rank. Because the ancient script he read before had 3 commandments, the first is to worship the god, the second was to praise the god, and the third is to believe in the god. And those who do not obey will die, so Jinwoo anticipated that God mentioned in the script is the main statue, so they have to do as the script says. But one of their party members got an emotional breakdown from fear and thought he could run out of the room with his super speed. He was confident enough, but in a flash he turned into ashes. Jinwoo then suddenly noticed that the statue hasn't killed them, so that must mean they have to complete all the commandments in order to survive, so he asked Chiyul about the first commandment. And he told Jinwoo it's to worship the god, so Jinwoo took the chance and stands up for a bit, and instantly bends down, and the statue stopped itself from attacking. Jinwoo figured out that he and others has to bow down, so he told everyone to do the same, and just as they worshipped him, the statue got pleased from them and gave a creepy smile. Then Park this time tried to check out and stands first, and nothing happens, which means the first task was completed and everyone could stand up, but that was just the first task. The second was to praise the god, but Jinwoo had no idea how to do that, so one of their party members came forward as he had done a bit of research on ancient lore. So he tried to praise the god with all the old custom words, but it didn't work out and the statue squashed the guy under its feet. So all of them runs out to save their lives, and Park wished to survive to return back to his family, but while running he stops near a soldier statue and that's where he booked his death warrant. Jinwoo was thinking how to praise the god and he noticed that there were statues with music instruments in the room. So he asked everyone to get near the statues with the music instruments and turned out their chances of survival is still alive. But when Jinwoo and Juhi found one of the statues, it didn't play out the music, so Jinwoo understood only one person works for one statue, so he leaves Juhi in safety and runs to get to another one. But the god statue saw him and started to follow Jinwoo. He jumped out, but the statue he got under was the wrong one, but somehow Jinwoo jumped out again and saved his life from being crushed. But bro lost his leg, and it was the moment he somehow dragged himself under the singer's statue and saved his life. And with that, the second task was completed. Jinwoo realized he had lost his leg a bit later, so Juhi used every ounce of her power to heal him, but it only stopped bleeding somehow. Girl really pushed herself to the limit. But nothing happens, so Kim blamed Chiyul for deciding to explore this place. Although everyone voted to explore, Chiyul, as the leader, took full responsibility for this, but after that, the god statue brings out an altar, and following the tradition, Jinwoo knew it means someone has to sacrifice here as an offering. That was the third commandment, believe in God. So Kim volunteers to sacrifice Chiyul because he's the leader who agreed to explore this place, but Chiyul didn't resist and moves quietly to the altar. But only a single flame appears when he gets near the altar. Seeing that, Jinwoo asked 2 of his party members to take him near the altar, and when they arrived, 3 flames were ignited. Jinwoo knew that if they didn't clear out this gate in 7 days, then a dungeon break could occur, allowing monsters to invade the earth again, and worse, the god statue would also attack Korea, where Jinwoo has a young sister and his mother who was barely alive in the hospital, so Jinwoo calls out the remaining members to join them there and their presence completed the numbers. It ignited the blue flames there and the door then finally got opened, but the blue flame was going out and the stone soldiers were moving near, which means the time was limited. So a girl got scared and ran out of there first and successfully left the room, but every time someone leaves, the door closes a bit and the out orange flames also goes out. Jinwoo thought it was the last test to believe in God, but then another one flew out of the room. Jinwoo tried to stop the others because it could be a trap, but if the blue flame runs out, they could get trapped in here. Kim admired Jinwoo, who, the weakest one, saved his life, but he also had a family at his home waiting for him, so even Kim leaves out of there, leaving only Jinwoo, Joohee, and Chiyul. So Chiyul tells Joohee to take Jinwoo out and run away, but sadly, Joohee had used too much of her powers, so she wasn't able to stand up on her feet. Which only leaves one option. Jinwoo asked Chiyul to take Joohee and leave, but Joohee refused. So Chiyul hits her neck and makes her unconscious to make things easier. With that, now only Jinwoo remains and the stone statues were moving closer. Even so, he thought of fighting back, but with his weak body, Jinwoo had no chance of resisting, and the stone soldiers started to toy with him to kill him slowly. Jinwoo remembers his family for the last time, and then he was thrown at altar as a sacrifice. That was his final moment, and he wished for a second chance, so a window appears in front of him notifying him that Jinwoo is eligible to become a player. But will he accept it? So Jinwoo selected yes. And that's where episode 2 ends, but with this, the God of Shadow is about to born in this world, and to watch the God of Shadow in the next episode. Like and subscribe to the channel to never miss any of our updates. Until then, take care.